Hi, this is Dr. Kimberley Linert, author of Visualizing Happiness in Every Area of Your Life and host of this podcast, Incredible Life Creator. And today I have Miss Renee Reisch in with me today. Hey, Renee.
Hi, Kimberly. Great to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so we've had you on the podcast. It was a while back, and I would just like instead of reading your bio like we did in the past and going over your whole story, why don't you just give us a little synopsis of who you are and what you're doing now?
Thank you so much. So, as Kimberly said, I am Renee Reisch. I am a women's life and leadership coach. I work with individuals and businesses around the world and helping them find their voice. And but that is really stemming from my own journey of losing my voice physically, mentally, emotionally, in every which way, spiritually. And it was in 2013 while I was working my corporate America job, taking care of multi-million dollar teams and departments in every which way, except for that girl looking back at me in the mirror. I never gave her a second look. And it was years later that I realized it was the physical loss of my voice that manifested from the metaphoric loss of my voice in life. Like the people pleasing, the fear of judgment, looking for outside validation for my own inner worth. All these awards and accolades I got were great, but it didn't make me feel any different than that burning inside of me of never feeling like I was enough. No matter how what award it was or how great I did, I still never felt like I did good enough or that I could ever be enough.
Mm.
And so I believe that my loss of my own voice was due to those inner thoughts, the inner dialogue that came to fruition in my outer world in a very painful way. So I was no longer allowed to be with the public. I was told I was highly contagious. In 2013, I was locked away for 4 months with no contact. I wasn't eating or drinking because I couldn't swallow because of the sores. So I just wanted to kind of leave. I didn't want to be around here anymore. And there's a greater power that had bigger plans for me. And losing my voice actually began the journey of finding my voice and now being that vessel to help others find and use theirs.
That's so beautiful. And Renee is, you're such a beautiful spirit. And I know you've helped so many people with this. And, it doesn't matter, like you said, if you're in a position of, authority or how successful you have been or unsuccessful you have been, if we don't take care of ourselves first and listen to that, I call it the child within, that child within that, things happened during childhood, and if we don't go back and kind of look at them and make sure that child is taken care of and nurtured, then it can manifest that way.
It's like clearing the clutter. We do spring cleaning in our clothes and our homes. But what about the home that you live in? What about the mental clutter that's been building and building and gathering, dust all those years, and it was never cleared away, yet we kept growing as, spiritual beings having this human experience. Yet those things, those thoughts that became things in our lives never really got taken care of. They were more like swept under the rug, be seen and not heard, or don't be seen in some cases. People don't, they don't want to be seen. They're afraid to be really seen and take that mask off, right? And really show who you are because those inner thoughts, that inner dialogue, whether we realize it or not, it creates a reality. And the things you think about, you bring about. And I didn't realize I was doing that back then. I was not spiritual. I didn't understand a lot of things. I was running through life, going to the next thing, taking care of the next person, but never taking care of me. And it came to bite me in the rear end. You know what I say? It's like driving a car. You do look in your rear view mirror, but how long do you stay there when you're driving? If you stay there too long, you would hit the person in front of you. And if you look to the left or to the right, you would be swerving lanes. So it's to really to take a look, take a check to make sure you're okay, check yourself before you wreck yourself kind of thing. And an associate of mine used to say that, and it's like, he's right. In life, you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. He used to tell other people to check themselves out. And it's true. You really have to take a good look, but don't stay there too long, only to understand what took place, not to sit with it and stay with it where you're now back there again, but to get an understanding, because the longer you're there, the longer you stay there and you get stuck. So it's about moving forward and expressing our true voice.
Yeah. So when you're working with people to find their voice, what are the steps to that? Where do you start?
Well, what I did is I created a blueprint, and it's VOICE. It's the 5 pillars in finding your voice. I needed something that was going to bridge the gap for me, that I knew would also help others, especially women. Personally, professionally, I was in that corporate job, that corporate role.
Mm.
What was going to serve and support me to get to where I wanted to be and still do what I needed to do. And so, vulnerability to empowerment, that's the 5 pillars. And you've got to start with the V, because you've got to release those things that are stuck and holding you hostage. And my voice, my vocal cords, that's the biggest instrument we get to play every day. But how are we utilizing it? What are we saying? And is it serving us? The thoughts become the things, become the reality in which we're living. And people say, well, this always happens, or I always seem to attract this kind of relationship, or I'm in this kind of a job, and these are only things that happen. Well, they're not happening to you, they're happening for you to learn lessons. And I've learned some really hard ones that brought me to my knees in pain and sadness. And I had to go through that, to go through what I needed to and become who I am today. And I continue to grow and learn every single day. So the voice blueprint is that modality that helps individuals and businesses around the world.
Beautiful. So, like I said, we had connected a while back, and recently you sent me an email. Kimberly, you've got to take a look at this. And I've always um, seen my mission as being global, and my podcast is global, but I'm always looking to see, how can you reach more people? How can you reach more people? And you sent me a link to this platform that is just out of this world amazing. Talk about like cutting edge, unbelievable stuff. And it's a platform that allows you to communicate with people anywhere in the world in their language. So, why don't we talk about that?
It's pretty incredible. I came across this back in January of 2024, and then it was reintroduced to me again in March. I'm like, okay, this is coming knocking on my door, not once, but twice. And I thought about the work I'm doing in the world with helping people in finding their voice, especially women, to have a voice, to empower them, and how this aligns with it's called the Great Discovery, is because it gives you a voice, gives me even a more global voice than I had before. And it's based on Six Sigma, which is a methodology that was created, gosh, like 45 years ago. And my platform, it's the 5 pillars of the voice blueprint that aligns with the 5 principles in Six Sigma. So mine, we said, is VOICE, and Six Sigma, which was also just back in the day only for our 4 branches of the military and for the elite top 100 companies in the world, Fortune 100. That's who it was for. It's like, what about the other like 95% of the people who also want to grow and evolve, but take maybe the mathematics out of it? Well, this does it. So the 5 principles in Six Sigma is defining the problem, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So aligning the VOICE with DMAIC fits in perfectly. So I've aligned my pillars with the principles in my coaching for companies around the world to help their leaders and their employees with their productivity and engagement. And individuals who want to work one-on-one, I align it with it. So this is like groundbreaking and game changing. And so I actually have a video that I want to share with you and your audience, that a reel that I created. And I'm going to share that with you now, if I may. Hold on. Here it is. All righty. Got it. All righty. See it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to play this. Let's move this up here and I'll play the sound. Are you ready to unleash your authentic voice and thrive both personally and professionally? I'm Renee Reisch, your inner voice coach, guiding individuals just like you to go from vulnerability to empowerment along the journey of finding their voice. And today I am so excited to share with you the great discovery, a Six Sigma methodology that I use to incorporate with the voice blueprint. I am so grateful to be part of this, and I am inviting you to join me on this journey of finding your voice. Bist du bereit, deine authentische Stimme zu entfesseln und beruflich wie privat zu blühen? Ich bin Renee Reich, Ihr Coach für die innere Stimme. Êtes-vous prêt à libérer votre voix authentique et prospérer personnellement et professionnellement? Je suis Renee Reisch, votre coach de voix intérieure. 本物の声を届きかなち、個人的にも職業的にも成功する準備はできていますか？私はレネライヒ。Listo para liberar tu voz auténtica y prosperar en lo personal y profesional. Soy Renee Reich, tu guía. Sei pronto a liberare la tua voce autentica e prosperare personalmente e professionalmente? Sono Renee Reich, il tuo coach per la voce interiore. So this really is you without limits. There's no language barrier. So this is a top tier e-learning platform for coaches, for speakers, for authors, for learners, for affiliates who want to get their voice out there, who want to prosper as they process all the information they're putting out there, whether courses that are speaking. There is no language barrier. And so you have this e-learning platform that is global. You now have become global. And I am part of it because this is about our voices and how we can share our voices with the world without, as I said, those barriers. It's interesting, Kimberly, and I think you know this. I also wrote a book, and this is called Finding Your Voice, Unlock Your Chains, and Unleash Your Greatness. And this is something that I created and wrote back in 2018. It launched in 2020. And it's my way of holding the reader's hand in the journey of finding their voice. And I can put this on a platform like that and speak the different languages. I have it in an audio book. I have it, in the Kindle. It could be translated. So these are things that are so powerful and impactful. My goal is to empower, inspire, and impact people around the world. And I can do that. This book is a workbook within a book. It's a short, easy read for those who like those short, easy reads. And after each chapter, I have a takeaway because it's my way of holding your hand through the journey of finding your voice. So you can document where you are now. What's the date that you wrote this answer, and see how far you've come in that journey. So I encourage you to reach out to me and let's connect. The word encourage has the word in encourage. When you encourage people, it's got courage behind it. Be courageous, be confident, be bold, be brave, and be you. And many of us aren't. We wear that mask because it's what we want other people to see, because God help they really knew about us. But when we find our own voice and we're not afraid to speak, to share our journeys, they're not always pretty. Heck, mine certainly was not. A lot of failed things that I've done that was not successful, things that were not successful. But it didn't stop me because I knew I had more growth and more learning to do. And now I'm here to serve others in that journey and in their journey. Don't ever feel like you're alone, because when you're alone, you don't prosper in the way that you could. You're not sharing your journey or your pains. Your pains are not, they're yours, but they're also shared by others. Like how many people are listening to this podcast right now and say, oh my God, I've been there and done that. Take care of everybody but me.
Mhm.
Didn't even put myself on the back burner. There was no back burner. Just go, 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 go. Next, 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 next. And my best friend, who's one of my beautiful angels in heaven right now, used to yell at me, like yell at me, say, slow down. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to. There was a kibosh that was placed upon me. The only thing you have to do right now is take care of you and shut it. And I didn't have a choice. I couldn't speak. Sores on your vocal cords is not the same as a sore throat where you just have some soup or honey or tea. It was a virus that actually attacked my voice and my throat, and I was not allowed to speak. I had no voice. How many people feel they don't have a voice in life?
Exactly. Yeah. So this platform we're talking about, you can put a course on it. You can put, like a short course that's available to anyone, like a free course. You could
You can,
put a course where people are paying for it, maybe more an advanced course. But when I think about, everyone has a message, something special that they were given that there's to share with the world. And now imagine being able to share it with anyone. Because even with my podcast, I'm thinking, is it global? Yes, but it's only global to people who speak English. But now I can take, like you said, I can take my book and put it on there. I can take a
yep.
course based on my book or other
Or,
teachings, learnings,
mhm,
and anyone from like over 200 countries can go on there, click and say, what language do you speak? The first thing I ask you is, what language do you speak? You put in your language, and the whole platform is converted to your language. And that means I can affect somebody in Africa or Asia or Tunisia, anywhere, Nigeria, anywhere. And I can make a difference in their life. I can help them with the transformation they're looking for that maybe it's not available to them in their language or in their country, or the ideas that I was given specifically to help someone they might not have heard before. And they didn't hear it because they didn't speak English, but now they can hear it. It's
yeah.
just phenomenal. I just,
This is it's amazing. I reached out to you and to others, and I'm continually reaching out to let them know about this because, as I said, I'm about finding your voice, and what that looks like for everybody is going to be different in their own journey. So the blueprint that I was talking about, I have it tailor made for the people I work with, for the companies, for the individuals. It's a tailor made approach. Like there's so many coaches out there. What makes me different? Why would somebody want to work with me versus somebody else? Well, number one, I've been through something really painful. Doesn't have to be that you did too, or that you physically lost your voice like I did, but I've walked through that fire and
mm,
fury and was in that really dark place. I'm not wanting to even live anymore, and to emerge and to be able to do something with it to serve others. That's why I created the voice blueprint, something that I knew that I needed that wasn't there. that
Mhm.
could fill that gap, and for an individual or a corporation. And now to align it with a Six Sigma company that takes the methodologies that I've used and created to align with their principles. And this is something that I serve and support. As I said, whether it's a one-on-one or a corporation or a group, I'm happy to speak with them because this is what it's about, sharing our voices, sharing our journeys, and to know that we're not alone in that. There is something out there. There is someone out there who can serve and support you in your own journey. And to be partnering with a company that puts you on that platform to give you even more of a platform to share your voice is something I am proud of. And to align my work with something that has been around for over 45 years that was just reserved for our military.
Mhm.
And what I created aligns with that. It's that methodology, the principles with the pillars to create growth and abundance for people around the world. So I'm grateful to be part of it. I'm grateful. I know I was speaking with the CEO, the co-CEO, Sandra Harry. I said, it's amazing. Well, I was creating the voice blueprint. You were creating the fourth generation of Six Sigma with the Great Discovery. I said, oh my gosh, I didn't even know about them. I was doing my work to create my creation. They were doing their work to create their creation. And now in 2024, we aligned our work together. I'm like, this is amazing. So I'm so grateful to be part of it and to share it with everybody because it's about our voice. As I said earlier, it's an instrument that we all have. It's how we choose to play that instrument. What are the words we're using? What are the thoughts we're thinking? What is that inner dialogue that we're telling ourselves when we wake up in the morning, or that tape that keeps playing over and over again? And then we're like on autopilot with our day. It's like driving your car and like, how did I get here? Not knowing how you got there because you're just going like robotic motions through your day. I go to work, I come home, what is, oh, same old, same old. No, life is not same old, same old. Life is to be an exciting journey. And I want to be there for you in that journey. And let's respark that that light that you allowed to burn out. Let's reignite that flame within you and let's connect. I'm happy to do that. I would love to do. I welcome. I offer a 30-minute complimentary call. Let's do that. Let's share our voices. Let me know what's going on.
And if people want to connect with you, do you want to share like your website and just how they can connect?
Absolutely. You can go to reneereisch.com and reach out to me. I've got my website is there. Renee at reneereisch.com is my email. You could say you saw me on this podcast and let me know you'd like to speak. Uh, I'll also put my link. If you have show notes, we can make sure they get the link to that to connect with me for my calendar link. So absolutely, I look forward. I welcome sharing our voices together. My calendar link is right there too. So I'll make sure you get that.
Exactly. And then a question I ask everybody at the end of every podcast, because it can change from moment to moment.
Yeah.
And that is, what is giving you the most happiness and fulfillment in your life right now?
Sharing my voice with people who have gone through or going through different hardships in their life because things we hold inside, they manifest in our bodies in different diseases. Disease is disease. And whether it's a migraine or something else going on inside your body that's manifested in some disease, it's because of the disease that you're holding on to. And let's release it. Let's, move past it and get through it. So I was also going to say I have a link tree as well. If anybody, it's link.tr dash EE and you can, / Renee Reisch. We'll make sure you get all the links. I want to connect. I'm on all social media platforms, but my website is a great place to connect, reneereisch.com. And to schedule your call, that would be the easiest and quickest way to do that. Or to email me, Renee at reneereisch.com. ReneeReisch.com. I'm happy to speak with you.
Thank you, Renee, and thanks for coming on again and for sharing your wisdom. And, I know you're touching even more people just by coming on and for sharing, the great discovery platform with us, because I just, like I said, it's just totally amazes me. I don't even have words to describe the feeling I have thinking about how, anyone can expand their voice out to anyone in the world. How huge, how transformational.
Yeah, I welcome people to reach out about it's just an incredible platform, and it's about sharing our voices with the globe now. We all have a message, as you said earlier, Kimberly, and how are you sharing it? Where are you sharing it? To be able to have a platform like that where I can take my work even more global,
Mhm.
and I welcome that communication with people to reach out. So don't be shy. If anything that I've said today resonates with you in any way, please reach out. This is meant to be. If you're hearing this, you're watching this, you're listening to it, it's meant to be.
Exactly. So one last question. What
Yes.
is your best advice on living an incredible, amazing life?
It's to be yourself. Like I said earlier, it's to be you. You don't want to be a copy of somebody else. We're not a blueprint. My voice blueprint is not somebody else's, it's yours. I created it for you. It's individualized, it's geared for each person, for each company. And it's about being authentically you, not a carbon of somebody else. We each have our own blueprint in life. What imprint are you leaving on this world? What impact are you making?
Love it. Thank you so much, Renee.
My pleasure, Kimberly. Thank you so much for having me. And again, please reach out. I'd love to share our voices together.
Thank you. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.